It's taken me way too long to fully appreciate Sinners, but now that I do, let me share one of my favorite aspects of the film's themes, which doesn't get talked about nearly enough. This isn't just a movie about race. It is that, certainly, but it's also a more universally relatable movie about artistic expression and cultural identity in our capitalistic society that would reduce such pure expression of identity into lifeless content to be consumed, stripping it of all its meaning in the process. Many people merely analyzing the film through the lens of race may think it advocates for a kind of cultural segregation, when I think the film's ideas of identity are much more individual and personal than that. If that was what it was saying, why were the Asian characters welcome in the juke joint? Why depict so many disparate cultures coming together in the surreal musical sequence? Why have a white composer on the film and bring in white musicians to blend modern rock influences with the blues? The film's clearly against cultural appropriation, but not the appreciation and sharing of culture. Additionally, those viewing the film as exclusively about race often fail to recognize that the villain, Remick, is Irish, an oppressed minority himself, making a simple reading of the film as white people bad incomplete, or if they do recognize this fact, they often merely find it confusing. However, this makes sense when you realize this isn't just a story about how majorities oppress and exploit minorities. It's about what minorities, and all true artists for that matter, sacrifice to survive and gain acceptance in the modern world. I love the detail that every song sung by living characters is original to the film, while the vampires only sing pre existing songs from the real world. They are incapable of true creation and expression and can only consume and regurgitate what others have already created. Vampirism here represents consumerism and the way it takes personal and cultural artistic expression and strips it of its true meaning. Remick and the black characters who become turned are tragic because, symbolically at least, they chose to assimilate to preserve their culture, but in doing so, reduced it to a mere shadow and caricature of itself to be eternally replicated and consumed. In seeking to, in a sense, save themselves, they lost their own unique identity and their ability to truly create. Many have pointed out how this is what happened in the music industry as music genres pioneered by minorities were stripped of their cultural meaning as they became popularized. But this is also the same process that has taken over Hollywood, sacrificing original storytelling in its efforts to capitalize on the familiar with unkillable franchise machines. And it's what the internet has done to all forms of art in the most extreme version of this phenomenon. This is more relevant now than ever as AI is forcing us to confront the state of art in our online world and question if we're willing to sacrifice true personal and cultural expression for an endless stream of reproducible slop, just as the characters in Sinners were forced to ask if they'd rather retain their identity and ability to create for themselves or become immortal as part of the cultural hive mind. What will you choose?